Back in 2018, when I was brand new to the game of golf, I went to Club Champion for a putter fitting. And the end result was my custom fit Scotty Cameron Futura 5W. And I think the price was $520 or so once everything was all said and done. Now, some people might say that is an unreasonable amount of money to spend on the putter, to which I say,
So, some people say the cucumbers taste better pickled.
What?
Huh?
but one thing I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt is that I am confident that that putter is fit to my stroke, and I haven't even contemplated changing it or switching it in the last 3 years that I've owned it. And when it comes to the entire spectrum of golf club fitting, I've encountered everything from top premium level fitters like Club Fitting and True Spec to your average, PGA Superstore employee. And over the course of several fittings and several thousands of dollars spent on clubs, I've definitely learned my fair share a bit about club fitting. So today, we're gonna be talking about, is a golf club fitting worth it, and can it help you reduce your scores? Let's talk about that right now. Thank you very much for tuning in to my YouTube channel. My name is Kenny. Some of you may know me as Kennie Kat. I am a competitive golfer. My goal is to help you improve your golf faster by learning from some of my successes and also some of my failures. If you want to know what training aids, what practice guides, and what things I'm working on with my coach that could help you improve your golf faster, hit that subscribe button below. I release free content every single week. I was gonna go into like a full-on detailed analysis of different types of club fittings, and I took a step back and just realized, like, one, I'm not an expert by any means of club fitting, but it really only comes down to a couple of things, right? So let's talk about the different types of club fittings that you're going to experience. And in my mind, it comes down to a very few specific things. The biggest one being, are you paying specifically for that person's time to fit you? And what I mean by that is, are you paying for an hourly block or whatever time frame of that professional's time in which to custom fit you for clubs that are gonna best fit your game? Many of you down that lens have probably done something like this. You go to a PGA Superstore or a big box retailer or even a small box retailer. They have a bunch of clubs that are in a fitting bay with a launch monitor, and you are able to hit a couple of clubs yourself. They may even have a store associate there that can, give you different clubs of different brands. They may have a couple of shafts that are the stock shafts that come with that particular manufacturer. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but I consider that to be more of club testing, right? You really just kind of go to hit a couple of different clubs, and it's not really a custom tailored experience to what you need specifically. It's more along the lines of you just going there to hit what is available and just kind of go through what you like, and then obviously fit, I use the word fit loosely, but choose the things that you like out of the selection that's available to you. The other type is where you have a specific time block, and especially if you've paid for this time block, right? Meaning that you have paid for that professional's hourly rate or their time in order to basically sit down, go through a consultation with you, and tailor fit a solution that is gonna work for you. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, I think getting a fitting comes down to a couple of different points, right? So the first thing is you want knowledge about what your current equipment does, right? You want to have some kind of baseline of, this is what my driver is currently doing, this is what my irons are doing, and you want to be able to get that information reflected back to you with some kind of launch monitor. The second thing you want to know is knowledge about your current delivery and ball flight, right? In our minds, we all have an idea of what we think our ball does, but launch monitors have the benefit of just showing us the reality of what it is. Also, in all fairness, after you hit your shot, you're really only seeing the last, 2/3 of the ball flight. So you may have a misguided notion of what start direction it is just because you don't see the entirety of the ball flight. The third thing is, obviously, you want to get knowledge about potential options and potential equipment that can help you achieve your desired goals. This is why people go to, big giant premium fitters that have every selection of head and shaft so they can get more knowledge and more access to different equipment options that are going to help them achieve their desired results. The fourth one is, and I realize I'm doing these in order of importance, is develop an understanding of what you like to look slash hear slash feel slash see down at the golf ball when it comes to your irons, woods, wedges, putter, driver, whatever club in the bag, right? These are customized clubs for you and your game. It really does depend a lot on what you like to see. And then the last, and obviously the most important, is finding equipment that helps you hit repeatable shots with the shape, the spin, the launch, the characteristics that you need in order to perform out on the golf course. Pay no attention to the fact that my outfit has changed. It is another day. Somebody corrupted their audio file, so let's get back into it. All right. Let's talk about that premium fitting, right? So that premium fitting is going to be that True Spec, that Club Champion, that TXG that you've probably seen on YouTube, right? You're going into a facility and their business is to custom fit clubs for anybody that wants to spend the money to tour level specs, right? No mistake about it. They are in the business of selling club upgrades, shafts, customizations. That's how they make their money. They, of course, charge an hourly rate for their professionals, but their business economics are in the upcharge and the upselling of the custom build and the shafts. Everything you purchase in the consumer market that's mass produced has a level of tolerance, right? From the TV you have on your wall to the car you drive to work and school to pick your kids up, everything is built within a level of tolerance. And that level of tolerance is going to be more precise or less precise based on the type of item you're purchasing. Obviously, we would hope cars would be more precise, but in some cases they are not.
Another quality control blow for Japanese automaker Toyota. The company is dealing with yet another worldwide recall. It is the second one in less than 3 weeks, the third in the last 5 months.
And also based off of what consumers are willing to pay for that level of precision. Long story short, for club manufacturers to sell billions of dollars worth of products or millions of dollars worth of products for a price that consumers are willing to pay, they have to mass produce these clubs with some level of tolerance in the lofts, the lies, the swing weights, etc. For the golfer like myself, or any of you down that lens that are looking to get every single bit of performance out of your game and you are looking to really take your game to an elite competitive level, it does make a big difference. When I tested my irons at True Spec Golf, it was evidently clear that like my swing path is pretty consistent. And I think that's common for most golfers. People believe their swings change from swing to swing. It really doesn't. Like you're pretty much within the same range most of the time. But what really is the biggest change or the thing that most people struggle is face control. And you'll see from the chart that I'll put up that my face control can vary by 1 to 2 degrees with most of the shafts. But there were a couple options in there where my face control was varying by almost 4 degrees. You can imagine that as skilled a golfer as I am, I'm probably going to deliver that face 1 degree, 2 degrees more offline than I intended to. And if I have a club that, the loft or the lie is maybe, a half a degree or even a degree off in some cases, that makes up for a huge increase in dispersion over the course of an entire season, over the course of a tournament, over the course of 18 holes, 36 holes, 72 holes, etc. And I'm not saying it's going to send the ball off the course.
Not this way.
Not that bad.
But it could be the difference between me being able to hit 1, maybe 2 more greens per round, which over the course of 72 holes or a 36-hole event, that's a lot of additional greens and regulations that can really add up to a lot of strokes saved and really lower my scoring average. And it's the same reason that I live in Arizona and I have an insurance policy that has a $500,000 premium on it because there are people that drive around in Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis and stuff here in Arizona. And heavens forbid if I were to actually get into an accident in one of them, it gives me peace of mind that my insurance is adequate enough to cover if I happen to destroy somebody's brand new Rolls Royce. Fingers crossed, I hope that don't happen. And the same thing is true on the golf course. I want my clubs built to the precise tolerances that gives me peace of mind that when I'm standing over a shot, I'm not worried that, is this club really fit the best way it should be for my driver swing? And is it built appropriately for that? And what you will find is no matter what manufacturer you purchase from, and I'm sure there's some manufacturers that are better or worse, and even in my irons, the swing weights were off, the lofts were off, the lengths were off, And we're not talking about massive amounts, but we are talking about a few degrees off here and there. And that is something that if I'm trying to get to the elite level golf, right, shooting in those 70s, I have to invest in every single aspect that I can to improve my game. Let's jump over to Arcos for a quick overview, and we're going to look at the last 5 rounds that I've played, which is the only rounds that I've had with all the clubs in the bag, and we're going to take a look at where my game is trending and what is happening as far as the actual measured results of my strokes gained. And we're going to compare myself to a 5 handicap because that's my goal, because that is roughly what someone who has a scoring average of 79 is. They're roughly a 5 handicap, so shooting an average of 79 to 80 or whatever have you. All right, so if we look at the last 5 rounds, which are the 5 rounds that I've had with all my clubs in the bag, all the new clubs, a new driver, all that good jazz, I have gained an average of 4.4 strokes. Now, we're going to go ahead and break that down because some of that is putting. Driving itself has gained 2.7 strokes, and the vast majority increase in that is distance. Now, I didn't go get fit for a driver and all of a sudden just picked up additional distance. I've always had it. Has happened as a result of my driver fitting is that I am able to deliver the club more confidently because of the combination of shaft and head or whatever that, that Eric fit for me, that allows me to consistently keep the ball in play. And if you remember from my last video, I talked about that far right miss that is now staying in the course. My accuracy has improved and I'm gaining strokes on accuracy. So the fitting with that driver compared to my previous driver has gained me more usable distance because I'm delivering the club better and the ball staying in play. The next thing we're going to look at is my approach game. Now, my approach game is only improved by 0.2 of a stroke. Obviously, it's very hard to get better with your irons. I'm still working on it. But where most of that has come from is my wedges inside of 100 yards, 50 to 100 yards, because we've adjusted the wedges, the loft, and the lie, and everything is more set up for my swing. My swing path is very neutral, so naturally, with those wedge shots inside of 100 yards, if I'm swinging, straight down the line, and we got a loft and a lie that works for my delivery, I'm hitting my wedges a lot straighter, and I'm getting a lot closer to the pin and decreasing my dispersion and decreasing my proximity to the flag. If we look at my greens in regulation, I'm hitting 46% of my greens in regulation, and that number is up from, I think, 38%, which was what it was in the last video. I'll double check those numbers, but that's a massive increase in greens and regulations, and most of that is being driven simply by the fact that my dispersion on all approaches is now down to 59 feet where it was 70 some odd feet before. And then if you combine that proximity, even with the times that I missed, to my short game, I'm getting a lot of additional strokes gained on the field, right? I've gained over 1.2 strokes just with my chipping around the greens, having wedges that have a great weight, that have a great feel to them, that have, lofts that are best set up for the way that I like to deliver the club has definitely helped. I've always been a good short game player around the greens, but if there's one thing that is definitely showing is that my proximity to the pin on these short game shots, because of how comfortable I feel with the swing weight of my wedges, is definitely decreasing. On average, if I'm inside of 25 yards, I'm getting that ball within 7 feet on average. Obviously, I'd like to make more putts. That's a whole different conversation for a whole different video. But as far as the wedges are concerned, the feel and the swing weight in those wedges has definitely helped to increase decrease my proximity to the hole on not only my short wedge shots, not only my irons, but also my chipping around the green. And out of all of those stats, only 0.3 of those strokes are gained from putting. So let's just call it an even 4 strokes gained with the new clubs that are fit in my bag. The evidence is there. I went and got fit for clubs that allowed me to feel more confident, to deliver the club head more efficiently, and I've gained 4 strokes in just 5 rounds. I didn't just get that good overnight because, I have a new strategy or I've been working on some swing changes. That is likely a direct result of the clubs being able to deliver a more consistent face that is helping me to decrease my dispersion. I'm getting closer to the pin on average. I'm keeping my drives in play. My wedges are a lot more accurate. Those are all adding up and allowing me to get a lower scoring average. To answer the question of, is a premium club fitting worth it? Abso-freaking-lutely. It can only benefit your game to have clubs not only fit to what you need, but also built precisely to the specs that you are fitted to. So what would I recommend if you were in the market to get clubs and you were looking to get fit for clubs and you were wondering, should I spend this money on clubs? Find a premium fitter in your area. Obviously, I'm biased because I went to True Spec, but I'm sure there's other out there that can also provide a similar experience. My experience with True Spec was absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much, Eric. I'm loving everything in the bag. But even if I purchase my club somewhere else, which I know some people do, I would still go to a premium fitter for the access to all of the fitting equipment, all the fitting options, and the information they have in these fitting studios. So if you are looking to buy new clubs, do yourself a favor. Before you go purchase a brand new set off the rack, consider getting custom fit. My experience has been that it has improved my game, and I'm probably sure that if you got fit as well, it would help you improve your game. You're already spending $1,000 on a brand new set of irons. You may as well invest a little bit more to make sure that they are tailor fit for your game. Your significant other may not be happy and your wallet may not thank you, but your scorecard most definitely will. As always, thank you very much for watching my YouTube channel. Deuces, people. Let me get it in the frame. Let's keep it moving.